Everybody calls me Ali. The press call me Ali. You call me Ali. The Ku Klux Klan even call me Ali.
In early 1962, Cassius Clay would be taken to a Nation of Islam summit. This is where he would be first fully introduced to the Nation of Islam, and he would ultimately become a member. In March of 1964, the leader of the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, would give Cassius Clay a new name that would be on billboards, television, radio, and he would ultimately be known as this forever.
Well, what's your name? You told me your name was Cassius Clay a few years ago.
I never told you my name was Cassius Clay. My name is Muhammad Ali, and you will announce it right there in the center of that ring after the fight if you don't do it now.
Muhammad Ali. The Nation of Islam believed in racial separatism, they were against race mixing, and believed white people were the devil, among other things.
Most of the civil rights leaders with whom I know you disagree, Dr. Martin Luther King, and Whitney Young, and Roy Wilkins, and James Foreman, and James Farmer, and any number of others, all believe in integration, getting along with the whites and moving into the same society.
This is all due to their lack of knowledge of the time and what should be done in such time. They don't know that this is their time, that they should be separated or they should go for themselves. This is what I'm trying to teach them. Teach them that this is the time that they should go for themselves.
And another thing, when you say integration, it comes under intermarriage too, right? All
right.
been together.
Right, sure.
And I'm sure no intelligent white person watching this show, or no intelligent white man in his or her right white mind want black boys and black girls marrying their white sons and daughters, and in return introducing their grandchildren as half-brown, kinky-haired black people.
I wouldn't object to that.
Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of them would.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people. No, this is the point.
What I'm trying to say is this. And you don't have it. You say you don't, but you don't have it. You really ain't gonna have it. You on the show, and you got to say that.
These core values would align them with white anti-race mixing separatists too, most notably the American Nazi Party and the Ku Klux Klan.
Nazism says to the Negro, we don't want to hurt you, we don't want to persecute you, but we feel that you're not culturally as mature as we are. We don't want you to live right next door to us. We tell the truth to Negro. And most of you people, white people, if you're perfectly honest, will say that that's the truth. And you all know it. And yet when you get next to a Negro, you're afraid to tell him that. You're afraid you want to be real sociable and nice, so you lie to him. And all this does is hurt him and hurt you. There is one great Negro leader that I admire, and I understand that I hope I can be helpful in getting him here, and that's either Elijah Muhammad or Malcolm X. Now, these are great leaders. I wish to God we had one white leader of the stature of Malcolm X. Just one in our government. If you don't believe me, you wait till he stands up here and talks to you. That's a man. When you see that man, you'll see a man that'll stand up and talk to you, right up to you, square and fair. He won't cringe or kowtow or black Tom or anything else, and neither will he be arrogant. He's a man and he's a leader. Now, those are the kind of leaders that the Negro people need, not Arthur Spingarn of the NAACP or Marvin Rich. Of course, neither one of them who are black.
The two sides of each of these quote-unquote hate groups, although hating each other, agreed on these core components and maintained contact with each other, speaking at each other's meetings, exchanging pleasantries, and sometimes even giving money.
$20 from who? George Lincoln Rockwell. Go to heaven. Wait a moment. Got $20 from George Lincoln Rockwell, and you got the biggest hand you ever got, didn't you, Mr. Rockwell?
Ali would become more racially conscious as time went on, and the public began taking notice. Floyd Patterson, the former heavyweight champion of the world, would be quoted as saying Ali, quote, might as well have joined the Ku Klux Klan. In the lead up to Ali's trilogy fight with Smoke and Joe Frazier, the public would get a real dose of Ali's transformation when he began a brutal onslaught against Frazier. Ali would racially abuse Frazier, calling him an Uncle Tom and a house
No, I'm the only big $1 million making in the white man's world of prestige who speaks for his people 100% and don't give a damn about the money, being shot, take the title, take it all, and to go to jail tomorrow. I love my people, and I'm not going to sell them out, make no movies and mislead them and marry blondes because I'm one Negro who the boss let me come in the castle and the rest of them in the fields catching hell. I'm going to the fields and represent them if it means die. So that's why I'll fight. So now you know from now on here, Muhammad Ali signed the fight is for freedom of black people. Now God is involved. What? Now you're fighting a spiritual holy war when you face me now.
But when you're fighting Joe Frazier, is that a spiritual holy
war?
Yes, sir. Why?
Because he's the Uncle Tom.
Oh, he's not an uncle.
He's not. Why did he insist on calling me Cassius Clay when even the worst of the white enemies recognize Muhammad Ali? He keeps saying Clay. He's still Clay. He gonna stay Clay, and to me, he's gonna always be Clay. He represents it. I know some of his girlfriends.
He can't.
I know more about Joe Frazier than you do.
Well, he came from a very, very humble background.
I don't care. He's the other type Negro. He's not like me. There's two types slaves. Joe Frazier's worse than you to me. Joe Frazier is a brother, but he's an enemy. He represents everything and stands for everything.
This confused many onlookers, including Frazier, who had been friendly with Ali, even loaning him money when he couldn't box due to his legal issues when he refused to fight in the Vietnam War, despite being drafted. Floyd Patterson's earlier tongue-in-cheek statement that Ali should join the KKK would be a vision for what was to come. Ali would join the KKK, not in a membership capacity, but in a meeting where he would speak to the Klansmen. Ali would detail the meeting with the Klan, and even tell about the Klansmen playing a joke on him.
It's a hell of a scene. All these white hoods on, the bonfire, and me on the platform, and all these Klansmen was talking. I says black people should marry their own women. I said bluebirds with bluebirds, redbirds with redbirds, pigeons with pigeons, eagles with eagles. God didn't make no mistake. They say, yeah! They said, well, you teach the rest of them niggers that, everything will be all right. And on the way out, a funny thing happened. One of them says, we got the nigger, string him up. And I looked and I jumped. And one of them came out with a rope. He said, we're just joking, champ. And they let me go.
Ali and Frazier would have their trilogy fight on October 1st, 1975, at the Araneta Coliseum in the Philippines. It would be billed as a thriller in Manila. Ali would win the fight after 14 grueling rounds, and it would go down as one of the greatest boxing matches in history.